Okay, let's get into it. We're taking a deep dive today, looking closely at just one source.
Right.
It's a daily devotion called Christ Reigns Forever, Hope in Chaos. And it really zooms in on Revelation chapter 11.
And our goal really is to unpack what this text, seen through the lens of this devotion, tells us about finding, well, hope, finding certainty when things feel so unstable.
That's it, exactly. The devotion starts with this core idea. Even with all the chaos, Jesus is still king. His gospel is moving forward. His kingdom is coming. It definitely points out the tension in Revelation 11, suffering versus victory, silence, then celebration.
It's all clear in the chapter, yeah.
But the big message from the devotion, loud and clear, is that Jesus wins. Period.
And it anchors this whole idea in a key verse, Revelation 11:15. That's where it says, "The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Messiah, and he will reign forever and ever."
Right, that's the foundation for everything else it pulls out.
That declaration is kind of the bedrock, yeah.
So let's look at the first big lesson this devotion highlights from the chapter. It's about God protecting his witnesses and their worship.
Yeah, it talks about that image right near the beginning where John is told to measure the temple and the altar.
Okay.
The devotion interprets that as like a picture of God actively watching over his people, specifically protecting their worship. It's a symbol of his care.
And then you get that really dramatic story of the two witnesses.
Oh, yeah.
They preach really boldly, they face opposition, they're actually killed.
Right. It looks like defeat.
But then God raises them back to life.
Exactly. And the devotion uses that to say, look, God's message carried by his witnesses like you, the listener, it just can't be silenced for good. Even when there's suffering or what looks like failure, the message itself endures.
And that's such a direct connection back to us, isn't it? The devotion really stresses that God sees your faithfulness. He's with you when it's hard, and that your witness matters. It might feel small, but it's powerful because it's his message carried by his Spirit.
Which should change how you live. Right. The devotion suggests this means, keep showing up for worship. Keep having that quiet time.
Don't hide your faith.
Exactly. Don't shrink back. And trust that God really is using your life, your words, even if you can't always see the results.
That flows right into the second main point the devotion makes, which is just this absolute certainty. Christ will reign forever.
Yeah, it describes the seventh trumpet sound in Revelation 11. It's not just noise. It's the cue for all of heaven to just erupt in praise.
Okay.
Declaring that the world's kingdoms to become Christ's kingdom. It's like it's done. His reign isn't just future. It's a reality now that lasts forever. It's final. It brings justice, reward.
And this is where the hope becomes really solid, especially when everything feels so shaky.
Right.
The devotion argues that when leaders come and go, economies go up and down, trends change, evil seems to be winning sometimes, this declaration is your rock.
Your anchor.
Yeah. It reminds you belong to a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Why? Because Jesus is king now and forever. He's on the throne.
And so the practical application follows. The devotion says, okay, if Jesus reigns, then don't put your ultimate hope or trust in, temporary stuff.
Like what?
Like elections or cultural fads, human leaders, money, even your own achievements, like a degree or something. Your trust belongs only in Jesus.
Right. And you let that hope actually shape how you act. Living more generously, maybe. Finding joy even when circumstances are tough. Acting with a bit more boldness because you know how the story ends.
Yeah, it all circles back to focusing on that one powerful truth from Revelation 11. Jesus reigns. And he's coming back.
It really boils it all down, doesn't it, to just that one solid certainty.
Jesus reigns forever.
That's it.
So thinking about this picture the devotion gives us from Revelation 11, Jesus reigns now, he's returning. What does really living from that perspective mean for how you approach, today? Right now, what choices does that truth make you want to make?